Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a very highly requested video. My workout routine, what I do to work out. What do I do to burn extra calories? How do I work out without wanting to fucking die? This video is actually going to be an updated video. I have made a video on my workout routine, but it was like my fourth video I ever uploaded on this channel. It's really old, it's like a year and a half, so it's super outdated and shit just isn't the same anymore. So I figured I would do a new one. I think that a lot of you are going to be pleasantly surprised. I feel like a lot of fitness influencers, weight loss influencers, like their workouts seem like kind of unattainable. And I mean, I say that with a grain of salt because I'm about to roast the fuck out of myself because I used to be like that, but my workout routine is like really attainable. It's very normal, it's not very extreme, and yeah. When I first started YouTube, I had just lost weight and I really wanted to flex. I essentially just wanted to show off. Honestly, let me just throw myself under the fucking bus. I wanted everyone to think I was just the fucking hottest shit ever. I wanted everyone to think I was the best runner. I was the most active motherfucker on YouTube. And I really kind of like conveyed myself like that in my last video, which is why I wanted to refilm it. So I'm sure a lot of you have already caught on that my main form of exercise is running. I've always enjoyed running since I started losing weight. I used running to help me lose 130 pounds. Running has been kind of a catalyst in my life, and I feel like it is going to be my preferred form of exercise forever. And I feel like that because I have tried a lot of different things and nothing has stuck with me like running has. If you are considering running or you are considering like trying to start any type of new exercise, something that you're not familiar with, something that you haven't had experience in, I feel like it's very beneficial for you to accept that you are not going to be the best. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm someone who, when I do something, I want to do it right, and that is it's always kind of fallen to my detriment because I'm very hard on myself when I don't do things, I guess, to the level that I think I should be able to achieve. So my best advice for anyone starting anything, not even exercise-wise, but just anything, you have to accept that you are not going to be the best. There's kind of this narrative or this rhetoric in the fitness community that you always have to be pushing yourself, you always have to be getting better, you always have to be the best of what you're doing, and I just don't abide by that. I did at one point and I found it was very dangerous, I found it was very toxic, like a very unhealthy mentality for me to fall into. So I have learned to approach exercise in a much more lenient way. I've accepted I'm not the best, I will never be the best, and that's fine. I try my best. I used to be 300 fucking pounds. What do you expect from me? Okay, I'm trying my best. So I'm just gonna quickly go over what I do on a daily basis, and then I'm gonna get to your questions. I did decide, or I guess I thought it would be better to allocate more time in this video to your questions because I know that's gonna make it more valuable for you. I've already fucking blabbed on way too long, so all right. So I'm a runner. I'm a daily runner. I prefer running outside. I enjoy running outside because I get to see things. I get to smell things, nice things, not fucking sweaty gym people. I get to reflect on my current life, I get to reflect on my past, I get to plan for my future. I'm just someone who really enjoys time to myself. I prefer exercising in isolation. I do not do well in gyms. I do not like people around me, and I've never really excelled in exercise classes either. It's just, I like doing my own thing. I like setting my own goals, and that's how I've always been. So that's why running is my preferred form of exercise. When you start losing weight or when you start trying to become fit, it is very easy to get caught up in the mindset of you have to constantly be exercising. You have to constantly be pushing yourself, getting better. I know that firsthand. I experienced that, and I'm here to tell you that is not the case. If you like jogging, be a jogger. Do not be a runner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you prefer jogging, there is no need for you to be a runner if you don't like it. Do what you like best. The best type of exercise you can do for your fitness journey or your weight loss journey is the one that you can sustain. And if you cannot sustain running, do not run. Do what makes you happy. But like I said, I do run every day. I typically go out for an hour to an hour and a half. And in that time, I usually hit around 10 kilometers. Some days I do better than others. Some days I only hit 3 to 4 kilometers. And that is completely fine. I go home, I say, you were lazy today. Try not to be lazy tomorrow. Even if I do only run 4 kilometers that morning, I will most likely still hit my exercise goal because I walk everywhere. I go out for strolls at night. Like, I'm a very active person. The first question is, how do I get into running? My best advice is to try it. I know we've all had to run in our life. When you were fucking in grade school, you probably had to do track and field. And at that time, I hated running. I think everyone hated running. And we all resented the 3 people who enjoyed running and went to like fucking running winners, what is that called? Regionals? Something like that? I don't know. We all hated them. Fuck them. Try it in different atmospheres. Try it outside. Try it on the treadmill. Some people love the treadmill. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the gym. I don't really like the treadmill. But there are different ways that you can run, and trust me, running outside is drastically different than running inside. Try running for a week or two. If it's not catching on, try something else. If that doesn't catch on, try something else. If that doesn't catch on, try running again. Just, you know, dip your toes in the different options. And don't do shit just because someone on the internet's doing that. The next question is, what shoes do you use? I currently use, these are the Nike Odyssey Reacts. They are just, you know, they're kind of cute. I picked them because they're full black. Obviously, on brand. But if you did watch my other video, I have used a bunch of different types. I also really like the Under Armour Charged Bandit 3s. I generally, when it comes to running shoes, I don't really have any brand alliance or anything like that. I like to switch it up sometimes. I like to try different things. But overall, my best advice in terms of shoes is to just actually make sure they're running shoes. A big issue a lot of people have when running is they choose shoes that are not actually made for running. So there are running shoes, obviously, but there are also just like leisure shoes. There are comfortable shoes, but they're not built for running. The problem is they all look like running shoes. So it's very easy to accidentally buy shoes that aren't actually made for running. Definitely look it up. If you see shoes on sale, look it up quickly on Google. What are these shoes meant for? Because when I first started, I had that issue when I was running in shoes that were not running shoes, and they fucked up my ankles bad. The thing about running shoes is they have more support and they have a lot more bounce. It makes it easier for you to run because they're more bouncy, you get more air, like fucking a Giselle or some shit. But also they have much more support. They're built for runners. They're built for the impact of running. So definitely look that up. One of the best investments you can make in your whole fitness journey is on shoes. I said this in my last video. I will preach it till I fucking die. That is a good segue to our next category, and that is injury. I got so many questions on injury, so I'm gonna go through all of them and hopefully clear some of it up. Keeping in mind, guys, I'm just talking about my own experience. I'm not a doctor. If something's really fucked up, please go to a doctor. Do not diagnose yourself with my shitty video. One of the biggest things people asked about were your knees. So if your knees are hurting when you're running, what should you do? What's the issue? Why is it happening? Everything like that. So actually the knees are really interesting. My knees used to hurt a lot when I ran, and I was like, why are my knees hurting? At first I thought it was just because I was heavy. I'm sure that, you know, played a role in it. But your knee, like a knee injury is actually very illustrative of other issues that you have. So for example, knee injuries often happen because you do not engage your core enough. So you do not carry enough power in your stomach or your core when you're running, and that makes your legs very unstable. And that's something I never would have thought about when running. So something I started to do was when I was running, I focused more on my stomach and making sure I was like holding in my core when I was running. And not only did that help my knees and my legs, but it also helped me with my posture. So staying up higher. I know you're probably like, bitch, what posture? But it does help you more with your posture when you're running, because you do want good posture when you're running to prevent any back injuries. Second was shin splints. I get asked about shin splints all the fucking time. I feel like everyone at some point deals with shin splints if they're heavy. I used to deal with shin splints. My best advice, like the thing is, I don't have the answer. Usually shin splints occur because you have poor running form, and also you might just be too heavy and you're landing too heavy on your feet. If that's the case, if you get shin splints, stop fucking running. Shin splints are stress fractures. Sorry, I can't say stress fractures. Stress fractures. And they can lead to very debilitating injuries. So please, if your shins are in pain, stop. They are very inflamed. They can recover on their own as long as you do not keep pushing. I also got asked about ankles. Like I said, my ankles used to hurt a lot, and that was because I was wearing improper shoes. But also, when you're running, you need to make sure you are landing on your feet properly. For the majority of people, you want to be landing on the ball of your foot, so the center of your foot. When I first started, I was guilty of landing on my toes, and when you land on your toes, it makes your ankle very unstable. All right, so the next question was, what are the best apps for beginner runners? And I got a lot for you guys. One of my favorite apps that I've used is called Couch to 5K. I think I mentioned this in my last video. It's also called Couch to 10K. It is basically exactly what it sounds like. I'm pretty sure it's a free app. I don't know, this isn't sponsored. I just like this app. Basically, you download it and then it teaches you, it like trains you to run longer over time. So I think like the first one, it's like intervals of like 1 minute, 15-minute run, stuff like that, and then over time it gets more and more and more until you can run a 5K. Also, there is an app called Strava. Basically, this is more of an app for people who really enjoy running. The features are more for people who want to get involved in the community and running and everything like that. So basically it's a GPS oriented app. So when you're running, it calculates or tracks where you've run, shows your route, it shows your pace, it shows your time, it shows everything like that, your distance. But the thing I really like about it, it is very interactive. So you can actually add your friends on it and you can compare your times, you can race, you can do all that type of shit, which I think is really good for some friendly competition. It's also a good kick in the ass. If you get all your friends riled up and you're like, let's start running, bitches, and then you're the last one, no one wants to be the last one. No one wants that type of embarrassment. And then finally, there is Runkeeper. This is another great GPS app where it can track where you've run, your pace, your distance, everything like that. You can compare yourself to your past numbers, you know, look for improvement. Something really cool about this app is it actually syncs your music to your pace. I always thought that was really cool. I think it's a question later. Someone asks like, how do you keep your pace under control? I have always used music. I find it very easy to run to the beat of music. So for this app, for a beginner, it is very beneficial because it actually syncs your music to your pace and encourages you to maintain that pace. If you ever plan on running competitively, marathons, etc., I might do a 5K one day, but probably nothing super intensive. I run because I enjoy it and it's fun. I don't want to make it into something, like I don't want to make it into a competition for myself. I don't want to take the fun away from it because then what am I gonna do? The elliptical? Fuck no. How do you control your breathing? So I was asked this in my last video and it is the exact same. I breathe in through my nose, out through my mouth. But honestly, I feel like the best advice I can give is to try not to focus on it too much. And I know that's easier said than done. When you're running, it's really easy to focus on your breathing and how shitty you are at breathing when running. But the thing is, if you can separate your mind from your breathing, if you can think about like a future plan, a funny memory, anything, like honestly, your breathing only gets super fucked when you're thinking too much about it. So try your best to think of something else, use that imagination, escape to a fantasy land. Do you eat before you run? So I used to. Now I do fasted cardio, which I don't do that for any other reason other than the fact that I eat later in the day now for my appetite. I've never had super big meals in the morning. I definitely don't suggest that you eat a lot of food before running. One, you could get sick because all that food's slashing around. You feel heavy as fuck. And then also you cramp a lot easier. Were you able to run at your heaviest? Not really. So I tried, but honestly, max probably 30 seconds of running. I just over time had to build up my stamina, had to build up my ability to run. Actually, one of my most prominent memories from when I was big running was I was with my friends and we were running for the bus and I literally could not make it. I couldn't run the best, but I built it up over time. My best advice is to start walking. The more you walk, the better you'll get at running. You'll have more stamina. You'll be more active. Just walk. All right, so sports bras. A lot of you guys asked about what my favorite sports bras are. When I was big, I always used Old Navy. Old Navy always had sports bras that worked really well for me. I had very big boobs. So Old Navy, I think, has 3 tiers of coverage or support, I should say. There is like low, which would not work for me. There was medium and high. Both medium and high worked for me. So those were my preferred. Now I like to use a bunch of different brands. Honestly, my favorite one is from Lululemon, but I also have some from La Senza. I still have ones from Old Navy, and I just have a bunch. The most important thing, I think, is to wear compression garments. So when I was big, I used compression to hold my fat in when I was running, and now I use compression to hold my loose skin in. There is no shame in my compression game, all right? I will never be one of those girls who runs in shorts and a sports bra. My leg loose skin flaps in the wind like a fucking parachute. I need compression. My favorite compression leggings are from Old Navy and Lululemon. I've never found anything as good as the compression leggings from those 2 stores. Old Navy is a great option because it is cheaper and they are very good. Get the high-waisted, it will hold everything in. I think regularly they're like 25 bucks, and on sale sometimes you can get them for 12. Amazing. But yeah, guys, that is all for this video. I'm sorry if it was super boring. I wanted it to be more educational. I promise there are some vlogs coming, so, you know, this shit won't be so boring. But a lot of you have been asking about this, and I did want to shine some light. I did want to encourage you, even if you suck like me. And I just wanted to, you know, kind of shine some light on the fact that not every fitness or weight loss influencer is a fucking athletic god. There is me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, I'm gonna leave. I've been talking too long. Bye.